Well, everybody, what I'm going to do is walk you through some instructions today, and the one we're going to go through is the anonymous user. When I open up anonymous user, there is a prerequisite. We need to make the portal public, which is this step up here. So the assumption is that you've already done that step, make the portal public. Now, what we want to do here is we want to start off by making sure we update the public service template in your instance. And I'm going to assume you did that. If you need instructions on how to make that update, they're up in this step here with a short video. And where we're going to start is we're going to start right here where we go to the instance and we make sure we're not authenticated. And then we're going to navigate to non-emergency issues and we're going to report, we're going to click on report the streetlight outage. We're going to try to log in as a guest. And we should see we get an error right here, and that should take us up to this step. All right. So if I go to the portal, and you can see that I'm not logged in here, it's asking me to log in. And if I click on services, non-emergency issues, we should get a report streetlight out catalog item. Now if you click on report streetlight out, it's not logged in. So what it's going to say is we need to have some type of user connected here in order to move forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on continue as guest. And then you'll see that I get a username or password invalid. So we're going to leave that here for now. I'm just going to slide it over to the right. Now if this slid over to the right, we're going to go ahead and open our navigator. And I want to just have this open so I'm following along with the configurations. So right now we have this invalid message. And I want to go to the instance and I want to log in as the admin user. So I'm connected here to my instance as admin. And I want to make sure that I'm in the global scope. If I open up the scope here, I can go ahead and scroll that up and make sure that I'm in global. And the reason being is because what we're going to do today is we're going to add a user. So I want to make sure that I'm in the global scope so that I have permissions to add a user to the sysuser table. Now that I'm in the global scope, I'm going to go into the navigator into our public services template. So if you just type public in here, you should see that it takes you to that public services template. And we want to make sure that we go to the scripts to run. And if I open up scripts to run, right now there's one script in there. There will be more as we go and add different pieces. But we want to make sure that we go to the create public user for anonymous access. And if I open this script, you can have a look at the code, but basically what this does is it creates a user for us, and then it grants the users a couple permissions. And the username is going to be public guest, and then the login will be public guest. All right, so this password won't be seen by the users. We're going to hide that, but this is the user that we're going to use when they click on public access. So if I go ahead and run this fix script, and click on proceed. Okay, those are our next steps here. We're up to this step. And then we can go ahead and close this. And if you want to take a look, I'll just jump there real quick. But if we type in user and we go down to all of our users underneath the user administration, you should see that new user called public guest. If I open up public guest, you'll see that I gave this user two very non-invasive roles. So the roles that I gave them were a customer service consumer and customer service customer. Those are the two roles that that user is granted. If it's open wider, you'll see that those one's consumer and one's customer. Okay, so that user has very low privilege roles. So even if somebody does guess the password, we're going to be okay with that. They're not going to get in as admin or anything like that. And our last step, if you look here, it's once we go ahead and save it, we want to go back to our pub directory. We want to click on non-emergency issues, just like we started in the beginning, except I should see something when I continue as guest now. I should see that it actually continues and it logs us in as guest in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go back and you'll see that I'm not logged in. I do have services, and if I click on report streetlight out, I'll have continue as guest at the bottom. And then I click on continue as guest and you'll see a redirect happen where it logs us in as public guest. And now we can fill out the report a streetlight out form. That's it for this demo, and we'll talk to you on the next one.